I was standing outside the Episcopal Church of St Andrew here in Strathtay, about 5 miles east of Aberfeldy, and that's the kirk up there. As I say, it's not Church of Scotland, it's Episcopal, with the Association of the Church of England. But the chap in the shop just behind me has very kindly given me the keys to get access to the kirk. And as I say often, it doesn't matter the denomination. What's important is you make prayer. So I'm very pleased that I popped in. See, this is what happens when you've got a kindly nature. I popped in and I said to the chap, I said, am I alright parking outside your shop? I don't want to take customers, valuable space. He said, well, if you could maybe park across the road, that would be very kind. I said, well, I'll do that. I'm going into the church. Well, I'm going to have a look to see if the church is open. And he handed me the keys. So I thought, superb. But, isn't it wonderful? Look at all the what do you call them? Geraniums, any? And these should be in pink and flower, but they must have bloomed and then gone back. That's all I can presume. 1898. It's very difficult to read that scripture. I can't really read it any. That's the shop over there, and it's a very quaint shop. The sort of shop that I like. A village shop. I'm sure I've got the right access door for the key, but maybe not. What's this bell, Annie? The bell cote housing the original church bell, which used to be sited at the top of the old church porch, was funded by a generous legacy from the late Mrs. E.M. Ferguson Smith, in whose grateful memory it's dedicated. Let's ring a bell for that lady. Yes. What a wonderful person to leave that. I think this is a private residence, Andy. I don't think this is a church. Is it? Let me just check on this here. Oh no. Welcome to St Andrew's Church. So here we go. Damn it, I've lost the bloody key already. Oh dear. I think the chap in the shop's going to be furious. How on earth could you have lost the key so soon? You only crossed the road. But this happens to me often, this opening church doors as a result of chatting to somebody. Maybe I should have been a church beadle in my my life. Look, I love the way they have the flowers all decorated. There's a service tomorrow apparently, but it's to say it's the English church, so you get the bishops and stuff like that. You see. I mean, I'm not against it. It's just I don't like all that pomp and ceremony for religious affairs. I just like minister turns up and puts on a collar. Although I've been in plenty of churches, a lovely church actually. I've been in plenty of churches where the ministers had the full black cloak. You don't see so much of that now. They tend to just dress in a jacket or perhaps a sweater or something, and they still put the collar on, but I think I liked it when they used to wear the big long coats, the black, there's an official name for them. It's like in the public school arena, and not even in the public school arena, even in the state schools, we used to wear big long black cloaks because we had them at our high school. And fortunately they got rid of the black hats that they used to wear, but they still had those big long black cloaks. Most of the masters wore them. Chemistry and geography and mathematics is how they call them. But look at the stained glass window. Can I see this stained glass in here? It's pretty beautiful. I have to say that when I float around the countryside, I find these absolutely adorable little churches everywhere. I mean, look at this mini lectern. Look at the big eagle on here. That's fantastic. Look at the wood carvings. It's a bit dark, Andy. I'm not really promising you much in the way of the light. But I think I do. I do enjoy. Look at this fabulous church. It's very, very peaceful, Andy, isn't it? The only person that's making a noise is you. It's very, very peaceful. I think we'll sit for a moment. I think we'll sit here. It looks like it's reserved for somebody important, so I think I'm qualified for that one. Yes, this is where the minister will sit when somebody else is reading scripture from the congregation. I think I'll close the camera and have a quick prayer, Annie. So the Episcopalians evidently do a lot of kneeling when they're at prayer. And this is something that's you also find in the Roman Catholic Church, that they will drop to their knees. It's not something that's done in the Church of Scotland, I have to tell you. They wouldn't stop you doing it, but you would end up with sore and probably dirty knees from the flooring. But here they have cushions and stuff. And but anyway, we won't linger for too long here, Annie. But I'm pleased to see that someone has given a lot of effort to put in a very seasonal bunch of flowers there, including some of that blue lupins at the back. Delphiniums. No, they're not delphiniums, Annie. Too early for delphinium, Annie. Although they look like delphiniums, don't they? Just slightly. I can also say Aberfeldy's got their annual flower show. I didn't go to that one last year, so I think I'll make an effort. It's quite early in August. Most flower shows are held in late August and early September in Perthshire, but this one's quite early. So I'm going to pencil out my diary, and I shall attend. Bishop Charles Wordsworth, the nephew of the poet, obviously William Wordsworth. We can't get your Wordsworth out today, can you, Mr. Bott? William Wordsworth, nephew, Andrew. Bishop Charles Wordsworth, nephew of the poet. A stone name was added. a stone chancel built, dedicated by the Bishop Charles Wordsworth, nephew of the poet. Does that make sense to anybody? Okay. I think what we'll do, we'll take advantage. Oh, there's a lovely chair just to have a quick seat upon. Strathtay and Aberfeldy. What a wonderful chair. All ready for the coffees in the morning after service. But, well, I've enjoyed coming in here, and I'm very pleased that I've got the opportunity. You never know. There's another church I want to see, St Mary's Kirk. I think we might go to that as well, Andrew. I've come back to the back of the church again, the rear of the church, because this is a Bible which has been obviously very, very much published and printed for St Andrew's Church here in Strathtay. It's an absolutely beautiful Bible. And it's huge, and I'm not joking here, I can't lift that with one hand. It's absolute, oh my goodness, that must be weighing. That's about 15 kilos, Andy. I'm not joking, that Bible is huge and very, very heavy. No word of a lie. Let's see what the other one weighs. Yes, this is the other one here, Andy. Oh my goodness, that's another absolutely gigantic one. Ancient. I don't know how many Bibles have been published in the last, since James VI got his men to write it up in a new version. James VI of Scotland, that is, Ireland. I don't know how many have been published. It must be in hundreds of millions, billions probably, if you consider all the different languages as well. Look at this very interesting piece of wood. See how it's grown into an actual cross. That's a conifer, that's a Lelandia, I think. Magical. Well, let's lock up, Annie. Well, this church was built in 1898. I mean, it just shows you the craftsmanship just of 120 years ago. It was just amazing. No one could build this stuff nowadays. I mean, you might get a occasional stonemason that can do a little trick here and there, but no, they couldn't do this. Even the architects couldn't design something as fabulous as this. That's my opinion. And you never see anybody planting copper beech these days, do you? One day there's going to be no copper beech in Scotland. She's listening to me, that tree. She definitely is. I think it's quite poignant to see all these self-heal plants in the churchyard. There's dozens of them. And it reminds me that it's time to get picking, and foraging and harvesting. I wasn't planning to come here today, and it just shows you sometimes you can be guided. I've never been to Episcopalian service, but I have been to a Roman Catholic Mass. It's quite a long affair, very spiritual. When I was up in Norgalshire late last winter, early winter last year, I attended for weekends, and it was very worthwhile. I did tell them I was a Protestant, but they didn't mind. They said you might find it very different. And to some extent it was. It was completely different from what I've been used to in a church service, but nevertheless it was just as uplifting. I often find in the Church of Scotland services that when the sermon's given, it's you've got to be really attentive. If you miss out a sentence because you're daydreaming, you can lose the whole thing that's been talked about. Quite simply, it's the truth. And what's worse with it is if you having a cup of tea afterwards and they said, what's your thoughts, Andrew, on the sermon? And you really are put on the spot. So my advice is, if you're going to church service, regardless of what denomination is, pay attention. But it's lovely just sitting here. It's very, very beautiful beechwood bench. It's obviously been donated to the church. Some lady, it says on the plaque, who loved the kirk. And I can see why. It's beautiful. It really is beautiful. So what we'll do, we'll go back to the shop, and I think out of kindness, I think I'll buy something from his shop, or ask him if he's got a box for a donation or something, and thank him for giving me the keys, because otherwise it would just been a few snapshots of the building itself from outside, and that's sometimes not any good. So we'll trundle back. Andy, have you got everything you need? Did you? I thought you came with more stuff up the pathway. Nope. So there's another door. Well, I don't know, Annie. Let's go back down, so. There's fresh fruit trees have been planted. Cooking apples, Annie. These are cooking apples. Eventually, you've got to leave apples for years and years for them to, grow into proper-sized apples. This tree will be 20 years before it can bear proper fruit. This plums, Annie, or green gages. It's a cooking plum. That's what that one is. Plum jellies and jams and stuff. This has been landscaped, all this, recently, I think. What's this one, Annie? Dessert apple. I've never sat down after a meal and said to the waitress, just an apple, please. Or I look at the cheese board. Well, as we used to do to wind up the waitress in one of the cafes we used to go in, never failed. We used to say to her, do you mind if I have a look at the sweet trolley, please? And she would drag across the sweet trolley. And then me and my friend would discuss it. So I like the wheels, I like how they've got the four of them, and I like the teak veneer at the top and stuff like that. And she used to get quite upset with us. Damsons. There's nothing on that tree. But anyway, that's us from this lovely church. Thumbs up.